We're both intuitives, energy healers, and spiritual teachers.
And every Thursday night, we get together live with you guys to connect with your guidance team and loved ones.
That's right. That's your spirit guides, in case you don't know what we're talking about. So whenever anybody is ready and here, you can chat with us. So if you put any questions for your guides in the comments, we can answer them. Also, just so y'all know, if you're joining us from a Facebook group, such as we have an intuitive and spiritual development group, for example, on Facebook, please type your name along with the comment so that we know who we're talking to. So Oriana says, hi, ladies.
Hey there.
Hey, Oriana, how you doing? I'm going to have to shove our giant crystal so I can place this in between us. We have our first question from Laura Ernaway. She says, hi, ladies, any messages for me? Okay, Laura. Okay, so I just saw this very strange. There was sort of this blanket of energy over us, and I actually asked our guides to can you guys help move the energies? And they did, and then it was this, whee! It was a backwards, almost like a wave in an ocean going backwards, uncovering us, and then it was whoa, whee! Whoa! And I was like, is that a message for Laura? And they said, yes. Don't know what that means, but we'll see if we can get some more. Okay, so they're saying it's the sine wave of experience where, we're lifted, and then there's whoa, and then it resolves, and then it just feels and I think this is, for a lot of us, about life in the year 2020.
That makes sense.
Feels like you're doing a pretty good job, though, because it was more like a roller, kind of a fun roller coaster, and more as opposed to, I think, some people who are, those waves are making them seasick, and not in a good way at all. And I feel like you're kind of over that, so that's good.
I just saw an image of a newspaper, anything, and then immediately an image of a newspaper came in, and it felt like, be wary of where you get your news from. There are good sources and there are some not so good sources. But I literally saw the newspaper.
I just heard not a good source. So whatever that is.
I'm not getting much more about it.
Yeah, I'm just hearing it is really difficult these days to find good sources.
Right.
Yeah, they're trying to get the straight scoop is near impossible. But so they're just bringing me back to a little bit of guidance they gave me today when I was sort of wading into trying to figure things out, and it was just all distorted and just hysteria and the usual hand waving, and they were hand waving, not jazz hands. And so, yeah, what they said was avoid it today. There's a lot of nonsense out there. And I think some days are better or worse than others. I think today was one of those days where there was just a lot of fake BS floating around out there, to put not too fine a point on it. So yeah. And anyway, what they did say to me was just kind of back out of the room on that for now. And I was okay, sounds good. And they just yelled, that's for everybody. And I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else. Hey, if you wouldn't mind sharing us with some of your closest friends, whoever you think might be interested, share it in a private message or to the Facebook page or something, that would be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn.
She says, "Hi, Lynn here. Do you have a message for me?" Okay, Lynn.
Let's see if we can get for Lynn. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what this means yet, but the first thing I saw was a bunch of crystals. It's almost like you were sitting amongst a bunch of crystals, and all different types. And I feel like you've had an interest in crystals previously. It doesn't feel like it's something new for you, but I don't know if you've just not been connecting as much as maybe you used to or something. And I feel like they're saying, please do get back into connection with those. And it's almost like I don't even know if you understand how powerful they are. They can really do a lot. Their energy is really important.
Mm-hmm. As I say, reaching for my crystal. You want me to show it? I showed off this one last week. This is Esmeralda, one of my crystal skulls. And this one matches my shirt.
And this is an appetite heart.
Yeah. Not getting anything.
I'm not getting much. That's all I'm seeing. We'll see. Let's see what else.
Well, I did have a couple of my male guides come in wearing coconut bras and grass skirts, and they were going, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. And what they wanted was for me to plug our Florida retreat.
Oh, yes.
Because I was like, is this for Lynn? And they're like, no. So anyway, yeah, we're going to Florida March 3rd to the 7th for a Connect to Your Soul retreat to learn why you are here on Earth and how to get on the path of your soul's mission with clarity and authenticity and ease and grace and delight.
Yay!
Yay!
We're going to have community fun. We're going to dive deep within our souls, and then we're going to connect with the galactics.
That's right. We're going to do galactic contact events outside. And so others who have joined us for our retreat in Sedona, they know what it's like.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we had a good time. So if you're interested in that, go to divinelyguided.tv. You'll see the URL down here, /retreats, or you can just find the retreats section in the menu at the top of that website. Mm-hmm. All right. Next question. Rachel Rose Farmer. Yeah. Yay. She says, I should join that group. Yes, you should.
Yes.
Okay. Any messages for me tonight? Thanks. Okay, Rachel.
So it's interesting. I happened to look over here, and there's a bag that has a dragonfly on it, and then they showed me an image of a butterfly. The butterfly first comes out, and its wings seem like it's, I don't know if it's wet or something. It doesn't quite look like it's all dried and ready to go. It was something like that, and I feel like that's connected to something that you've gone through recently, where you've had a transformation. Almost like your wings are still a little wet. It feels like there's something that you really expect yourself to be better, do better, or to have perfected by now, that has not, you're not quite on strong footing with it yet, but it is like you're there. Kind of like when you see a horse first born, they can't really walk at first, but very quickly, soon after they're born, they start to. It reminds me of something like that. So, like the birthing process has happened, you're right there and ready to go. Just give your legs a chance to kind of get under you and get ready.
And I heard, and then you will soar. So that's good.
I'm not getting anything else.
I think that's it.
Messages are shorter tonight. I'm not sure what's going on. Normally they're a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll just see.
Maybe we have a lot of questions.
Could be, or somebody that we need to spend a lot of time on.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm wearing my glasses for the first time tonight. I just got these maybe a month ago, but I'm struggling because I'm just like, my eyes. I need to read.
Well, do you want to read, Carrie?
This is so much better. Hi, ladies. I have been having some pain in my lower back. I was wondering if you could tune in and see what you get around that.
Okay, this is for Carrie Goulet. So usually lower back pain is a sign of sacral chakra activity. And what I was hearing is that this is about creativity and the birth process. So, we do creativity in the sacral chakra, and we have to birth projects, and it feels like there's something that's ready to be birthed to earth. And it's like those back pains, those labor pains. It's like having a little bit of trouble coming out, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm also feeling like a connection to something where there's a lot of resistance to it. And it feels like it's connected to somebody maybe outside of you. I don't know if they're creating the resistance or if you have the resistance around that in some way, or thinking maybe they have resistance. But it feels like it's a connection to somebody. And I just feel like they're saying cycle some energy between you and the person. I feel like you may know who it is, and it might be more than one person, but whoever you think it may be, just cycle some of the energy between you to clear that out. And I do think you're going to see feel some changes in your back pain as that's cycling and clearing out and the resistance is releasing. I feel like you're going to feel it pretty quickly. Maybe within a few minutes.
Cool. All right.
I don't know. Try it. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Della says, hi, my friends. It's Della. What does my team need me to know? I'm doing shadow work about the rough feelings towards my mom, probably.
Mom or man?
Yeah, I see M-O-N. So it's either your Jamaican mom, your man, or your mom.
Your mom.
But we'll try to figure that out. I'm feeling like it's about your mom, and that
I was feeling like
it's about her man. Well, those two, I know that sounds strange, but they're often related. When we have a problematic parent, which most people do, because nobody's parents are Carol and Mike Brady, but it's like you often will gravitate towards a partner who the shadow work is essentially the same between the partner. And so I think it came through like that, kind of not by accident, because I think oftentimes we're more forgiving of the work that we have to do with the romantic partner, because it's like we get more out of that relationship. Maybe it's like, oh, it's love. Like, okay, I'll work on that in like a more unconditionally loving way. Sometimes we have a harder time with our parents because we feel like you were supposed to take care of me, or, whatever thing the humans do. But so try to see what maybe the similarities are, because I do feel like the work has to get done on both of those relationships. So, but what I am hearing, the big lesson in all of it, and to really help ease it, is the reminder of unconditional love, that we're all humans, we all make mistakes, and parents are often held to a different standard than mere mortal humans, right? Especially like mothers, where they're like, oh, they like the mother archetype is like perfect and nurturing and loving and caring. And when you wind up with a human instead of somebody who's all those.
I'm not human.
Right. So when you wind up with a human mom instead of Jen, but if you get a human mom, like
Right.
most people do, then you're like, wait, but there's this mother, there's Carol. My mom's not Carol Brady. What went wrong? And it's like, well, nothing went wrong. She's a human with her own baggage and unhealed wounds, and she like put her stuff on you. That's basically the it's like to help, just like, oh yeah, kind of when we remember that when we do this shadow work, it can make it go a bit easier. Also, I'm hearing Ono Pono, what?
Yeah. Pono.
Okay, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, I think Della probably knows what this is, but for everybody else, Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian prayer, and there's 4 lines to it. And I've seen it written in different order, so if you see it on the internet and slightly different, it's okay. It's I've seen it all different ways, but I usually start with the part that says "I love you." So it's "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." And you can do it directly. It's a great exercise for people to do together, or you can do it into a mirror and pretend like the person you're seeing in the mirror is the person you need to say that to, or do it with a close friend.
Oh, hi. Just be prepared to cry your face off and like get comfortable with it.
It's a great exercise. We did that on our spring retreat, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
That's right. Yeah, I was even just there holding space and observing.
I know.
And I was like, oh!
It was awesome.
Oh yeah, touches your soul deep. Come to Florida.
I know, right? Okay.
Were you getting anything else?
No, I really wasn't getting that much. The Pleiadians definitely came in, and I felt like they wanted to say something, but I think that they're really coming in because I think there's other things that they want to say later on. I'm not sure what it is yet, but they're really present with me tonight. And so I'm not getting as much as far as like individual messages. I feel like they're like, okay, next. Okay, next. I'm like, okay, what's up?
All right. Yeah, that's funny.
We'll get to it.
I understand. I get that feeling too. Okay. So Lauren Regal says, hi. Mediumship for me. Yay or nay? So I don't know exactly what that question means.
Well, I think she's asking if she should get into mediumship.
Like if she should do it herself. Okay. Good question.
So I do believe you should.
I was hearing a really strong yes.
I am hearing, though, boundaries are important. So the fun thing to remember with when you're working with loved ones is they sometimes don't have boundaries.
They often don't. It's like they're like, oh my God, here's my chance. I'm gonna like oh God. Like we could be trying to read for like one of you all, and then somebody else's will come in and be like, me first, and then it's not helpful.
Very confusing,
because you'll be giving the wrong messages to the wrong person. It helps literally nobody. But you will often have to. What we do is we get like bouncer guides, like higher level beings who can help to basically manage the situation, because you can get really crowded with loved ones. And I think that they can't always see each other. They don't always know that there's like what all the what is going on. I've had that experience a lot with spirits where there's a veil, but I think the veil has layers, and so they can't always all see each other and navigate each other. It's not that they're all just like rude and trying to cut in line. I think they just don't always understand what's going on. And so if you have a higher level spiritual being who can see all the layers of the veil, they can help you to sort of bring people in and out when it's appropriate. And so we always ask for that kind of help. The other thing they're calling to mind is when you get into mediumship, spirits will try to wake you up at night. Like there's lots of different boundaries you'll need to set about, when and how you choose to operate, when your off hours are, and just kind of how that works in general. Because at the beginning, it's like so exciting. It's like, come in whenever you want, all the friends, yay. And then you're like, oh, I can't do anything without somebody's dead uncle yelling at me.
Yeah. It happens a lot. And, I've got loved ones who come in friends, family, it doesn't matter. Once they find out that you're into this thing and that you can hear them or sense them, they dive on you. They're just like, oh my gosh, okay, she can hear me, she can get me.
Yeah, and sometimes they have really unpleasant physical symptoms.
Yes.
Like migraines, or like this one had like a dislocated shoulder that we were both dealing with last week. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, same shoulder. We're like, oh, it's that loved one.
Right?
There's one that comes in and always gets a tickle right here, and then we start coughing. Or if they've been smokers their whole lives, you suddenly feel like
smoked a pack of cigarettes. So there's lots of reasons for the boundaries. Just saying.
But it is amazing, and it's fun to connect with them because once they've crossed over, they're a lot more healed. If they haven't crossed over yet, they seem like the wisdom is in a lower kind of a space. But once they've crossed over, the wisdom really is very lovely and very sweet. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, who's next? Oriana.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Oriana says, doing good. Any messages for me, especially mission related? Great question.
Yeah.
We love that question, Oriana.
So I saw two things. And first thing I saw was almost like the pendulum of like clock going back and forth, like tick tock, and then dominoes, and then the dominoes, they started falling, and then a whole bunch of them started falling. I think what they're trying to say with this is it's a little more time, and then more opportunities and things come for your mission.
Yeah, and in the meantime, continue with the self-healing work, because I did hear that up front, time for self-healing work, and also that even after we're on mission, we always have to do that. That's always a given.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times being on mission means a lot more work to do.
Right? Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, we've definitely found that. So just for everybody on here, and this is why we like to focus on mission work, is because when you've agreed to do what you're here to do, you often have, some of your biggest fears and your biggest issues, the things that you have the most work to do around, will really pop up. And it's the perfect opportunity to dive in and heal and grow and become all you can be.
That's right.
Yeah, be all you can be.
The Army theme song.
Well, not that. All right. Cynthia. Hello, Jenn and Katie. Cynthia Katie here. Question.
Am I on the right
Am I on the right path right now? What am
I doing wrong? And
am I just reading that wrong?
No, I think maybe autocorrect.
Okay, autocorrect, yeah.
Took it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
How you doing, Cynthia?
Hi, Cynthia.
So the first thing I'm seeing is a book, but it felt like a book to study. It was I think it's more spiritual related. There must be some spiritual concepts that they're wanting you to get. But I see you, it's almost like you're lying on your belly on your bed reading a book. It looks like kind of not a real thick book, but a moderately thick book. I don't know if that makes a difference. But it feels like there's some good spiritual meat that they want you to dive into. It might be the law of one, the raw material.
That crossed my mind, actually.
And you've probably heard us speak about that, Cynthia, before, but just a reminder, that would be a really good thing to do. And they have it on Audible, too. I'm also hearing patience with yourself and with your process. That's not what I always like hearing from my guides. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Patience with the process. I'm like,
yeah.
You know where you can put that process?
Straight up your backside. Okay, sorry. What?
I know, right?
They're like, we are orbs. We do not have backsides. We are perfectly spherical. There's no front or back. My dog is
so fun.
Smashing my arm right now. Okay. I'm distracted. My dog just wiped boogers on my arm.
And I just heard divine intervention. Trying to figure out what that's about. I don't know. It feels like, and maybe you can tell me if this makes any sense. Yeah, I'm feeling that there's some, or has been maybe some sort of a block or resistance that it just seems like somehow magically disappeared. I feel like they're saying that was the divine intervention. And whatever this was, it was more about timing. It was almost like the block was put in place on purpose to keep you still wherever you were at, to keep you from pushing forward too quickly. Because whatever it is that's on the other side of that block, it wasn't quite ready for you yet. So I don't know if you were thinking maybe you were doing something wrong, but they're saying you weren't doing anything wrong. This literally was just timing.
I just heard what you're ready now, so I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm feeling more of a sense of freedom with you than you've had in a while. And I just heard good job. And that things are better than they look. So I don't know what that means. And I just heard that things might look like they're not quite right, but they are. And I heard good job again. And I think that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, if you guys like what we're doing, please share. All right.
All right. Jacob Palmer says, hey, I would love to hear about what's next for me to do. Love you, lassies. Love you too, Jacob.
Love you, buddy. What I just heard is moving forward inch by inch and then kaboom. It was almost like this massive movement forward. But I think they want you to know, and I think this is for a lot of us here, sometimes we're taking these small steps and it feels like we're not getting anywhere fast. And, these small steps really add up over time. And then all of a sudden everything falls into place. And it's being patient with that whole journey of what's happening, how things move forward, and especially when whatever it is you're doing involves somebody else. You need to wait for them to catch up, and then they wait for you to catch up, and then it just kind of, it goes back and forth, and it's not always the smoothest of journeys because we have growing to do and healing to do along the way. Patience with yourself and patience with anybody that you're connected to, that you're relying on as well. It's all really important. But I do feel like soon. I feel soon things, it's like it just really starts expanding very quickly. So keep up, keep working, keep doing the things, all the things. Mm-hmm. Keep doing them and moving forward as best as you can. And then I feel like everything kind of catches up to, all the different pieces involved. They all kind of catch up together, and then it's time.
Yeah, they want me to describe something a healer said to me recently about, there's some people when they grow, it's just 0 to 60 in terms of like, oh, they set their mind to it and everything unfolds beautifully and they wind up in an enormous audience overnight. And it's like, that sort of overnight success thing. But like most people don't do that. And what he showed was like the way a bamboo root system works is that like there might be just like a little shoot and it doesn't look like much, but there's this whole root system growing underneath, and at some point it'll be like all of these shoots come up and it's like 20-foot screen of bamboo that just pops up overnight, but it could take you like 5 years to develop the root system before that happens. And they were just showing that for me with you in terms of it does feel like you're doing the work now. It's like it can feel like hard, tireless, low return on your investment work. But it's like, no, it's not. It's working, even though you don't get to see the results like right away up front. You're planting seeds and you're working the garden, and just patience with the process.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. Susan Hobbs. Hi, ladies. Here again tonight. Any messages or guidance? Thanks.
Okay, Susan. I just heard, we love you, Susan.
And I saw like coins, and then I heard cha-ching, cha-ching. So, but I'm not sure what that means yet. I definitely feel like it's about money coming in.
Yeah, I just heard, it was like you saying, is it resolved? And I heard them say, yes, it will start coming in now, or I can't remember the exact words, but yeah.
Yeah. I heard don't be afraid. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if it's connected to the money issue or something, but I feel like it might be. Whatever it is you're worrying about, I hear all is well and it is resolved soon. Do not fear.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Laura, I was going to say, Laura Artaway says, thank you both so much. You're very welcome.
You're welcome. Lisa Spiewak Bradford says, good evening, ladies. Can you give me a birthday message? Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Shall we sing?
No.
All right.
Well, I have my way of singing happy birthday. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
And a 1 and a 2.
Am I singing with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you.
And there's your message.
All right. There's your birthday message. Next question. Just kidding. Okay. My daughter came down probably to see what all the ruckus was about. We're just singing. Yeah.
So what I'm getting, Lisa, is, there's a sense of there have been times when, and maybe recently, I'm not sure if it's been just this year or not, or previous to that, but it just feels like, things have been a little difficult. And I think for a lot of us, we could say, over the last couple of years, we've had some difficulties. But I do feel like, the sun is coming up and the horizon's looking really pretty. And I'm hearing just be excited. There's a lot coming. A lot of good things are coming. And feel into that. Feel the excitement for what is to come. And I'm not getting like you were like really down or really terrible. I'm not really feeling that, but it just feels kind of like slugging along, like here we go. It feels slow, a little heavy. But I feel like in 2021 and in the next year and really 2 or 3 years, I feel like you're heading into some really good times. It feels much more positive to me. What are you getting?
That was it. And I was just getting for a lot of us that 2021 is going to be a big turning point.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope.
Yeah, well, it depends. And I always have to add this caveat. If you've been doing your work and you're awake and aware, then it's going to be, the first half is still going to be kind of like 2020-ish. Let's just put it that way. But it does feel like around springtime, there's going to be just some interesting changes. I'll just leave it at that. That's going to feel really good to a lot of people and really bad to some people. So, yay, depending on which group you're in.
All right. This next one is a Facebook user name. We don't know who this is, so we're going to have to probably skip it. If you guys are coming from a group and not just the page, it doesn't put your name in there, and so it's hard for us to read into it.
Yeah, so try to identify yourself if you're asking a question from a group. Did we do Rachel Rose Farber already?
I think so. Didn't we?
I think we did. She was up at the top.
Yep, okay.
Yep, okay. All right, Michelle Kane says, hi, Jenn and Katie. Hope you're doing great. I think so. She said, do you have any messages for me? Okay, Michelle.
So it was interesting. Like I saw a bunch of insects, and I was trying to figure out what that meant. And then I saw like an inchworm, and it was like inching along. And then I was drawn to, sometimes I work with mantis beings, and they're amazing. And I don't usually tell people that because they're like, mantis beings? What are you talking about?
Well, and some people think they're negative, and it's like, well, like
there's a spectrum.
Like a lot of beings, there's both good and bad.
Yeah. No, these are really beautiful and very loving, very high level, very wise beings, and they have been really, really helpful for me in a lot of ways, and have brought through a lot of wisdom and healing. And I do feel like that what they're saying is, because they're very present with it, there is some physical healing that I feel like needs to happen. And I'm not sure exactly, like I'm trying to tune into what it is, and maybe they just don't want to say. But I do feel like physical healing would be a really good thing. It's energetic, but on the physical level. If that makes sense.
Okay, and they just want me to add what I saw, which was I saw an image of a heart, and then it like splashed, like turned into a liquid, and then it fell down into a blender. And then I heard that song, gotta put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion.
Oh my God.
The lyrics to the song. It's about heartbreak, obviously.
A little bit. Wow.
Yeah. So, but it's like a cute, punchy pop song. It's like, it sounds more brutal than it is, obviously. But yeah, so I think that the healing work that Jenn is referring to might have something to do with heartbreak. Not necessarily recent, though. Like it could be in your past.
Yeah, but I do feel like it's affecting your physical body. So if that's true, it could be maybe lungs, or it could be your physical heart, or circulation of some sort. But yeah, I would say, it's important to work with somebody, go ahead and get some healing done, work on the emotional aspect of it with the intention of healing the physical body along with it. It feels like it's really important.
Okay.
Neva Bowers.
Go for it.
Oh, she just says, so glad to catch you live. Oh, there it is. I'd love any messages if you were so drawn. Thank you for your service.
Okay.
We're happy to be here.
Indeed. I just heard beautiful soul, here for the ascension in all its wild glory.
I heard informative one. I've never heard that one before. Informative one. I feel like what they're trying to say with it is, I think you're a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're here to help. And part of that is to help raise the vibration on the planet. So they want me to talk quickly about vibration and consciousness. So often, not always, but a high vibration can correlate to higher levels of consciousness. So that can be wisdom and knowing. But even just, so as the vibration of the planet raises, perhaps because there are star seeds, there's people here to help, and they tend to have a higher vibration. They've been through more incarnations, they've ascended higher, they have a higher vibration. And so some people's jobs, it's like, they're just here to like sit and be cool, have a high vibration. Others are here to share wisdom and lessons.
We do both.
Just gonna sit here and be cool.
And raise your vibration.
And raise your vibe. I feel like that is the least cool thing that has ever been said on this planet, but okay.
I think it was pretty cool. I don't know.
Okay.
But I did say it, so.
Well, we both said a couple dorky things there, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
We lost a viewer.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything else to round that out.
Yeah, the only thing I'm getting is, to not be afraid. I think that you're supposed to speak or put your words out or write or something. And I don't know if it's a blog or if it's videos or something, but it feels like through your actions you teach. And to not be afraid of that. It reminds me, when Katie and I first started hanging out, and we were guided, hey, you guys need to partner up and do a podcast. We're like, do a what?
We're like, no.
Well, we'll see, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because, at the time I was getting guidance on my own to do a video bio for my website. And I had the video set up, and I was so afraid I would forget to say the things I needed to say. So I had this big whiteboard behind the video camera with all the bullet points of what I needed to say. And every time I would come back around to the front of the camera and I'd be like getting ready to be, like I need to start speaking, I'd be like, hi, my name is Jennifer Palmer. And I would do a couple takes, and it was like, I finally decided after I was like, I don't remember how many takes at this point, but it was like my shoulders would still not get below this. And I was like, you know what? I'm just putting it up because I can't get any better than this. And eventually, we got a little more relaxed and
mm-hmm. Yeah, so us getting on camera was an iterative process. We had to do a lot
still is.
Yeah, we're whatever. Yeah, we're working on it, so, but we had to start somewhere, and we had to start before we were good at it, right? That's the thing about speaking up and trying new things and being on mission and learning what we're all here to learn. You're not going to be good at it at first. And that is the scary part for a lot of people. And sometimes they never get started because they know, yeah, you might look dumb. You might look dumb at the beginning, you might look dumb in the middle, and you might look dumb by the end. Who knows? Some people, you're never going to have it all figured out. And the point is we all have to get off our duffs and try and put ourselves out there and get on mission. We had to put this one video up that we both
no,
we looked so crazy and weird, and it was just a bad video. But it was like one of the first videos we ever produced, and the guys were like, you got to start somewhere and you've got to publish it. Eventually they let us take it down. They had mercy, but it's like, you have to start somewhere. And yeah, it's like when I first had to start learning to speak in public, and I had a horrible stage fright, and I had to go to Toastmasters. And after I would get up there, I'd give my little speech, and then I would run off the stage and everybody would laugh. But it was just this straight up fear terror response. I was not trying to be funny, but it was like, I had to do it. I had to get over the fear. And it's like, you just got to do what you got to do.
Yep. You're going to be challenged, and that's a good thing.
Yep. Lots of growth with all that.
All right. What's next?
Oh, I don't know. My phone keeps shutting off. Okay.
Michelle Diane Crutchley, any messages for my mom? And then she says, 2 more messages down. Sorry, that was kind of rude. I was just trying to hurry up and get my question in. Hello, beautiful ladies.
Well, hello.
Thank you for, yeah, I didn't think you were rude anyway.
I didn't think that was rude. Okay, any messages from my mom? Sure.
Well, the first thing I'm hearing, and I'm not sure if it's your mom yet, but I do feel something with maybe breast cancer. So if it's not your mom, it might be someone else on the other side who has had breast cancer. I mean, I literally saw the pink ribbon and got drawn right to the chest area. I think there are a lot of people coming through right now. I'm also seeing a piano, and I'm seeing somebody play the piano. And I feel like they're kind of lining up. And I'm getting a feeling of the Great Depression, like that era. I feel like there's somebody from that time frame as well. I just feel like there's a bunch of people. Let me see if there's a message. I think I'm hearing something about a man in your life.
Well, you're getting that. I'm going
Go ahead.
to say what I'm getting.
Please do.
They're saying that you're doing much better than you think. And this is a little bit for everybody. It's like a lot of us run around and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and we're always like, am I doing okay? Am I doing this right? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, half of the thing about life is to learn to relax and enjoy it, and to not have so much self-doubt and consternation, sorry, is the word I was trying to say. And also just our perspectives about what is happening around us. We tend to judge everything instead of just assessing everything, ourselves, our friends and loved ones, the events in the world. It's human nature to judge what's going on instead of simply assessing it or trying to remain neutral and simply observing. If we can just watch the world like it's a movie, it's so much more fun. And it doesn't cost you anything. And it's like, it doesn't change what's happening. It just changes your experience. When you're just like, oh, this is exciting. What's happening today? You know, there's a lot of extraterrestrials that watch the planet like it's a season of a reality TV show. And they're like, gosh, if you guys could just be down there and be in it, watching it the same way that we do, it would be a lot more fun. So I do feel like that is one message I want to put forth to you, but also to everybody.
Yeah, the only other thing I was getting was that, and it feels like a masculine presence. It was a feeling of wanting to go somewhere, wishing you could go somewhere, and then they said, "Well, get in the car and go." So I don't know if it's literal, like there's someplace you really want to go, and they're saying, "Well, then just go," or if it's more like symbolic of moving forward in your life and doing something. You know, if you want to do something, just do it. Go for it. Don't be afraid. I think that's it. Yeah. I feel like they're still here wanting to say a bunch more, but I feel like our guides are kind of pulling them back. So,
okay.
All right. Another Facebook user. Oh, I think it's the same one. She said she pulled out crystals today. I forget who it was, but yeah, we had talked about crystals.
Cool.
Okay.
Odella says it was from Mom.
Okay. I think, didn't we do Susan Hobbs? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're seeing it on a couple different repeats. Susan Littlefield, any messages?
Okay, Susan.
Hey, Susan, how you doing? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well.
So one of the things they just showed me was that, and I think, yeah, this applies to a lot of people. When we're trying to make sense of the world and we try, and it's like showing, if you look at like old glass that can get kind of like marbled and can be hard to see through, it's like trying to see through this glass that's like uneven and unclear. And then like we just squint and we're trying so hard to make out like what's going on.
Kind of what I'm doing without my glasses.
Well, like in the world, in our life, just in general, just trying to like, it feels like there's a sort of a forced nature going on and trying to figure things out. And much like in receiving guidance, what the guides often want us to do is to just sort of sit back and relax and receive. And so in terms of perceiving the world, friends, family, whatever it is we're trying to understand, it's so much easier and we do so much better at it when we sit back and perceive. So it's like we observe as opposed to trying to figure it out, where our kind of like we're analyzing it, our all our conditioning of our brain is applying its own programs to it, and it makes everything even more confusing than it needs to be. So what they're saying is, for Susan and for all of us, if we're trying to figure things out, it's really not the way to go. It's better to just stay neutral and to sit back and be in this sort of receiving mode, where you're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna watch the show, and I'm not gonna try to make up my mind or decide what anything means. I'm just gonna watch it unfold, and maybe a meaning will show up later, and maybe it won't. But I'm not gonna work at it.
I wasn't getting too much more, except one of my healing guides came in, and I do feel like there's some healing that you need, and you can maybe even do it on your own. You know, a lot of us can do our own healing, and we don't even realize we can. Call on your guides and ask them to help you heal. And then if you feel like you're still not getting results, then call a healer or somebody you know and trust who can connect with the energies to help move things for you. But I do feel like there's some healing that you can do. They weren't really being specific about what, but I think you can call on your guides and angels and just, you know, say you're open to receiving the healing, whatever's for your highest good, and is in alignment with your soul's mission here. And I feel like that's all that's needed. But let me know if you feel like that's not working or something. But I feel like that you can do this on your own. All right.
So I see a question from Joanne Gaynor.
Yeah.
She says, anything from my angels tonight? Okay, Joanne.
Yeah, I just heard mission, mission, mission.
I just heard it's really important to get on it.
Like your entire focus should be that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've mentioned, and you were at one point trying to have Katie and I come over and do like an angel circle and do readings for a select group of people, which we can do that, guys. If you ever want a private get together, I guess after COVID's done or whatever, we do totally do that. But I feel like that's one of your first steps is to get used to, even if it's on Zoom or something, really doing some sort of a private get together with a couple of friends and see what you get, like see how that works for you. Dive in.
Yeah, and I'm hearing you could even do something fun like $10 card readings, like for friends that like, would be game for that. Like, why not? And that would give you, it's sort of like a low dollar kind of a funny, fun thing to do where it's like you don't have that pressure of like, oh God, if I charge someone like $50 and what if it's, whatever, not what they came for, $10 from a friend is like an easy entree to what you're supposed to get to.
And ask your friend to bring somebody that you don't really know.
Mm.
And even though if you only charge $10, I'm getting that actually is enough to put a little bit of fear in you about doing a good enough job. And they want you to remember that you're so much better than you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there have been times that I know you're pretty good at this point, but I know there have also been times when you doubted the level that you're at. And they're saying, don't doubt it. You're really ready. There are some things that need to be honed. We still work on our skills and are practicing certain things. And, that should be ongoing. There's lots of different skills to be had and to work on and to not focus on just one. Some people are really good card readers. Some people are really good mediums, but maybe they don't connect with the angelic realm very well or whatever.
Yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we could spend the rest of our lives on Earth training and never actually utilizing our gifts, and they really want to warn you against that. It's like you can accept money today and give a very good reading, and you don't need to build out a giant toolkit first. Like
right. And then keep learning. Like it's not about being done.
Right.
Keep going, but start now and start practicing and really understand the level at which you're at.
Which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much. And the sense I got was just diving in, like just doing it, saying, okay, on this date, I'm doing this. And it can be however you feel like you want to do it, but just do it, get a handful of people and go at it.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me when I first was guided that I was going to be doing group events, and I was like, what? Like I do classes,
Right.
whatever. And they're like, no, group readings. And I was like, the fear of God seeped in. And luckily I had somebody who was, a good person to go into it with. It was before I met Katie. And I knew she was good. And I was like, let's do an event. I'm being guided to do an event, but I want to make sure there's somebody good with me to do it so that if I really screw it up, whoever comes at least gets good messages from you. And, the first one or two times that I did it, I did okay. I definitely felt like, there's places I can get better at, but you need to practice. And that's, you just find a way to do it. And whether it's just inexpensive or it's practicing with somebody else, by your side. And so you can kind of pick up on the energy, figure out what's best for you, but dive in.
Yep. It is time. So speaking of it is time, it is 8
it is
o'clock,
time.
and I want to see what perhaps the Pleiadians wanted to say.
Yeah, let's see. So for those of you who didn't know, I've had Pleiadians with me all night. They really wanted to talk. Usually when they come in, it's about the awakening. I think it is a lot about mission. We're in the Great Awakening. Humanity is waking up, and a lot of things are about to unfold and happen, and our guides are very excited about it. We're getting ready to enter into a new era.
Mm-hmm. I just heard that song. It is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, but like literally, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's more important now than ever. I'm hearing a couple different things. First thing is mission. I mean, we work with the Pleiadians a lot, and they're very much about being on mission and doing what you came here to do. Stop hiding, stop making excuses,
Mm-hmm.
dive into your shadow work, dive into the consciousness work, heal the wounds, and get moving. Like
and
face
get
your
clarity.
fears.
If you're confused, that's not an excuse anymore. Like that,
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. Really dive in and challenge yourself. A lot of times it's the fear of what other people think. We're moving into a space where that doesn't matter as much. And let go of it. It doesn't matter what other people think. It matters, are you doing what you came here to do? Let go of the need for approval from others. The other thing that they really want to bring forth is this feeling and idea of unity and oneness. And it may seem like that's a crazy idea right now with the state of the world, but it's really not. And we're coming back into unity, believe it or not, more so than I think we've ever been or that we've ever experienced. And part of the message with that is learning to love each other's differences and learning to love each other on the soul level, remembering that we're all one, we're all connected, we are all sparks of the divine. And whether or not we're acting like we are, it really, you need to be big enough to look beyond that and to love each other from a higher space, even those you don't even know.
Even those with different beliefs.
And I feel like they're also saying too, and I feel like maybe some of you are questioning this. Love does not mean being a doormat. It means allowing in that unity and that oneness, that forgiveness, that compassion, that idea that we're all part of that divine. We're all fractals of that divine. We are the divine. And if you can be in that space, but yet still have boundaries, you can still declare what you will and won't allow in your experience. And that is totally appropriate. You don't need to be a martyr. You don't need to self-sacrifice. Start understanding the difference. I think there's some people on here who are still kind of confused about that. Start understanding the difference between love and sacrifice.
Yeah, and also between compassion and getting down in the mud.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have compassion for other people and still be ecstatic with joy. Like somebody else can go through something very, very difficult, and we don't have to lower our mood and our vibration in order to be compassionate. You can be a very happy, kind, loving, generous person, and if the person in front of you is crying and they're miserable and in pain, it does not help them if you're also crying, miserable, and in pain. You can have be in a state of peace and joy and calm while you lovingly assist them through whatever difficulties it is that you're there to assist them with, without having to martyr yourself and sacrifice your own peace and joy and happiness. It doesn't benefit anyone to do that. So learning to be of service and help people through every kind of difficulty under the sun without dragging your own vibe down is a really important skill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my dog is digging in the rug again.
And one last thing I'm hearing is, we're not here to save each other. We're here to become our own heroes in our own life. And you cannot be the hero for somebody else. They need to be their own hero. So if you want to help somebody, and if you're thinking of somebody right now that you feel like you've been rescuing a lot, it doesn't really help them to keep rescuing. It really helps them to help them find their own power. Guide them to their power. Remind them that they have the power. That is all we have spoken.
Good talk.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us this week. If you'd like to join us on the retreat in Florida, go to divinelyguided.tv/retreats to check out that info. And if you would like to join our soul growth group, that is also contained on divinelyguided.tv. So yeah, next week we're going to try to put this up here so that it's easier to see. Anyway, that's it. And we'll see you next Thursday, unless you're in our soul growth group, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. We love you guys.
Bye.